Staying long?
No, just for the night. Came to see the son of an old friend of mine named Ben Cameron. Do you know him?
You mean the new school teacher? Can't say that I do. Be with you in a minute.
Looks like that friend of yours, Ben Cameron, didn't make too big of an impression this time.
Well, don't worry about him. If he's his father's son, he'll do all right.
Answer is no, Mr. Cameron.
It's the law, Sheriff. And it's your duty to uphold it.
Mister, I don't need no school teacher to tell me what my job is. If you think I'm gonna go start jailing all the respectable people in this valley on your say-so, then you got another think of coming. If you're not man enough to get them to school, that's your problem.
What did he say?
Hey, let's have some fun with that greenhorn teacher, huh? Yeah, let's go. Come on. Get over here.
Where are you going?
Going up to the hotel to see if Murdoch Blanchard's here.
Can I come too?
I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. Help! Run away!
You all right?
Yes. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm in one piece.
Thank you. Why is it that when something like this is happening, you can make your hands obey you just fine, but when it's over, I can't seem to stop shaking.
Ma'am, I think you ought to take up the lines.
What?
I want you to take up the lines. You're going to drive back.
Oh, no, I don't.
You will, ma'am, because you've got to. Just like getting thrown off a bronc or knocked down in your first fight.
But I've never been thrown from a horse or knocked down in a fight.
I don't care. I really think it was a dumb thing to do.
Oh, come on.
Johnny, we're grateful.
More than grateful. I've prepared a small banquet for the visiting Lancers. I hope you won't disappoint us.
Not a chance.
I'm anxious to hear those stories of my father's misspent youth.
A little later, Ben. We haven't even had a chance to get registered yet.
Well, let's go in. We'll help you get settled.
Johnny, you stable the horses?
Sure.
Hello, Mr. Cottle. Mr. Wilson.
Got yourself kind of dirty, huh, teacher? Well, I guess our Western horses don't manage so easy for you.
I don't find any substantial difference in them.
Well, now. Don't eat talk fancy, though.
You don't handle a buggy so fancy, though. Looks to me like the teacher could use some teaching himself, huh, Pa?
Well, at least I'm not afraid to learn. When are you going to start, Turk?
He ain't. The only way you're going to get my boy to school is to prove you're man enough to take him.
Here's to the fabled legend of California hospitality, which I fear is a myth.
Even the Garden of Eden had a snake in it.
I can't quite see Cottle bringing an apple to the teacher.
You know, I look at you and I can still see your father, striding down the streets of Tombstone, one hand a stone fist and the other holding a reading primer.
Yeah, sometimes I wish I had inherited that stone fist. I think it might come in handy around here.
Yeah, I know, Ben. It's hard to understand these people. Not only are they depriving their own children, but others who might want an education. Plus, they're breaking a state law.
And they're getting away with it. Our esteemed lawman said that he's too busy tracking down dangerous wanted criminals to harass the decent, hard-working members of this community.
You know, there might be a way around that. Johnny and I are going to the county seat for the livestock show. There's a circuit judge there who is a friend of mine. I could ask him for an injunction. Now, if the sheriff ignored a writ, he could be in big trouble.
Well, now, how long would that take?
Oh, just a few days. We'll be at the county seat for a whole week, but I could always send John back with a writ if you're in that much of a hurry.
I'm in that much of a hurry.
Travis, just out to your place looking for you.
How'd you went over that cattle auction?
I had my eye on a good bull, but I was outbid by Murdoch Lancer. I got bad news for you. Looks like your kid's gonna be going to school after all. My kids, too.
What the devil are you talking about?
Lancer and the circuit judge had a nice chummy talk. Gist of it is, Cameron will be getting a legal paper to make the sheriff arrest us if we go against the law.
Ain't nobody gonna make my boy stand in front of them little kids and listen to them laugh because he ain't got as much schooling as them. Ain't nobody gonna do that.
That's what Todd says.
Come on over to my place, Owen. We'll figure out something to stop that teacher for good. Well, here it is.
The injunction?
100% legal.
I'll get it right to the sheriff. Catha, you just wait and see. Things are about to start happening around this town.
All right, get in the wagon, teacher.
Johnny, do you really think that that paper can make everything all right?
Well, sure. Well, what do you mean?
You understand these people. If you could stay long enough to talk to Ben, tell him how to deal with them. I'm sorry, I'm asking too much. Keeping you from your own business.
Well, Mrs. Cameron, I think Murdoch can handle that auction by himself. I mean, he doesn't need me there, but I don't mind staying. But I tell you, I don't think Ben needs any help from me.
Well, what do you want?
That paper, where is it?
Touch it and you'll end up in jail for certain.
Ain't gonna touch it. Take it out. Burn it.
You're very brave, aren't you? With your guns and your sack masks. A man who hides his face behind a mask is usually doing something he's ashamed of.
All right, shut up and burn it. Now, you got a notion to go back for another one, forget it. You want to stay healthy, you pack up and pull out of here tonight.
What'd you do that for? Couldn't hurt us. If anything's happened to him, it'll be the devil to pay. he's dead.
I don't understand. Men were seen taking my husband out of town. It couldn't have been anyone else. Why don't you arrest them?
I'm sorry, Miss Cameron, but I can't do that without proof. Besides, there's no telling that anything really happened to your husband.
For all we know, he could have just turned tail and run on.
Ben wouldn't do that.
I don't know. We'll keep looking, but that could explain things, ma'am.
Look, Sheriff, whoever did this, could have buried the body.
Anyway, you got no right to hold us.
Why not?
We was playing poker last night.
Poker, huh?
We got witnesses to it.
Mrs. Cameron, me and your husband had our differences, but I give you my word, I didn't wish him any harm.
I wish there was something I could do, Mrs. Cameron.
There is, Mr. Dundee. You can round up the children as my husband asked you to do. I was a teacher before we were married. His school will open tomorrow.
No, ma'am. I don't see any judge's order.
Oh, we don't need no judge's order. You just make sure they're there tomorrow.
How'd you like to make me?
How'd you like to be dead?
Now, haul in your horns, Trav. Most likely you'd wind up just another notch on his gun. I saw him gun down two of the best in Nogales once.
No need for gunplay here.
No, there's no need at all. You just make sure those kids are there tomorrow. If they're not there, I'm coming after you.
And each year, the outstanding scholar of the graduating class will receive this gold star with his or her name engraved on it.
It's even shinier than the sheriff.
That's correct, Annabelle. You'll be in 4th grade. You can sit right over there.
Yes, and this is my brother, Daniel. He's not up to sums yet, but I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Jack, Queen, King, Ace.
You'll have your turn, Turk. Daniel, here's your speller. Here's your primer. You'll sit right down there in front, 1st grade. Will you read the problem at the top of the page and figure it in your head, please?
The time is 9:30. If recess is at 10 o'clock, how long is it until recess?
Too long.
You seem anxious to give us all the answers. Read the next problem, Turk.
Can't read.
You'll be in 1st grade.
I ain't sitting with them little kids.
No, I'm afraid the desk couldn't accommodate you.
Just like him. Always throwing around a lot of fancy words. But just like my pa says, there ain't nothing you can teach me.
The first thing I intend to teach you is manners. Take off your hat.
Oh, yes, ma'am. If you say so, ma'am.
Johnny, stop them. Please, stop them.
All right, that's it. Now, here. Come on, knock it off, Turk. Come here, Turk. Come on.
You're a man of many talents, Johnny.
I snared these hens this morning.
They smell delicious.
hand me that salt and pepper there? You know what I was thinking? That you ought to come back to the Lancer Ranch with us for a couple days.
No, thank you. That wouldn't solve anything.
I know, but so much has happened so fast to you, I think it'd be nice to have a little rest and quiet till you decide what you want to do.
I have decided. I know what I have to do. Remember what you said about climbing back on a horse that's thrown you?
Not when you've been hurt bad, man. You need time to heal before trying that again.
That's what I'm asking you for. Johnny, you got them here. Will you help me keep them here? It won't take me long to learn to cope with this, I promise you. I've got to be ready when Ben comes back. He'll find his way back. Wherever he is, whatever happened, I've got to believe that. Otherwise, I couldn't stay here. In the meantime, I thought that you could teach them.
Teach?
When I saw the way you handled those children this afternoon...
No, ma'am. I mean, that's a fracas. I mean, anybody can handle that. But teaching school, that's something else. Most of those kids got more school than me.
Teaching 8th grades, you have only a few minutes to spend with each pupil on each day's lesson. And with me teaching you the next day's lesson the night before, you could keep ahead.
No, ma'am.
We could try.
No.
For a few days.
Oh, no, it's not going to work.
A week at most. Johnny, teaching is all I know. And I'm a good teacher. Together we could make it work. I know we could.
We can make it hard.
I'll do my best to make it easy. Please.
Well, what do I do?
Sit right here.
Well, I get into things.
Now, this is Annabelle's reading lesson for tomorrow.
You want me to read this, huh?
Yes.
Frederick the Great, King of
Prussia.
returned from a hunt.
To find a courier waiting.
What's a courier?
Oh, that's a messenger. It's what foreigners and army people call messengers.
With an important message, but the sun had so dazzled the king's eyes, he couldn't even read the words. Ouch! It was Turk, Mr. Lancer. It was Turk Cottle.
Turk, come here. And bring a reader with you. Come on. Let me have it. Now, let's see if you studied your reading as well as your back shooting.
Pa said I didn't have to. Says a Mustanger don't need to read.
Well, if you want to be a saddle bum, that's up to you and him. But me, I'd be real embarrassed if I'd ask somebody whether the words on a poster meant a man was running for office or from the law.
Well, the sun at recess must have dazzled my eyes just like that king. Can't hardly seem to make out these words.
Dazzled your eyes, huh? Well, come on, let's go have lunch.
You just watch this.
This belong to you?
No, sir.
Well, it's not much good anymore anyway. Just goes to show you what can happen when a man reacts on instinct instead of thinking things out. You'll never make that mistake, will you? I asked you a question.
I reckon not.
I never seen anybody so fast.
You do sacrifice a lot of things you might otherwise have, but every now and then there's a wonderful moment. You see a child's face light up, and you know that you've opened a new door. You've taught them to think, and that's a very special satisfaction.
That's just it. I'm not doing that.
That's not true. You're doing fine with everybody.
I am saying what you're telling me to say. I feel like one of those wooden dolls you work with a string.
I'd say that Johnny Lancer is very much his own man. Nobody pulls any strings, unless it's what they call the heartstrings.
Katha.
Yes?
No, I was just... What kind of name is that?
Irish.
It's pretty.
Annabelle's supposed to memorize this for tomorrow.
Don't worry about Annabelle. She's pushing hard for that gold star.
An elegy from Madame Blaise. Her love was sought, I do aver, by 20 beaux and more.
That's one of the words you were telling me about, beau. I mean, it sounds the same but means different things. A bow, you know, bow with an arrow.
And a beau with a young lady.
I bet you had more than that Madame Blaise had. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to start you looking back.
You can't shut out the past. Besides, memories weren't all dark. There were happy moments.
And there will be again. Indians have a saying that I've always liked. Tomorrow is the first day of the rest of our lives.
That's lovely.
Well, I'd sure like to be around when you teach old Turk how to read poetry. That'll be the day, won't it? It's good, Annabelle.
You know, Todd, he ain't had no more schooling than us. You ask him a problem a couple lessons ahead, and you'll see. Go on, I dare you.
Mr. Lancer? We're having trouble with a problem here.
Which one?
Says a man was asked how many sheep he had. He said if he had as many more, half as many more, and then 2.5 more sheep, he'd have 100. Now, how many did he have?
That's not today's lesson.
Miss Cameron said we could go ahead as fast as we could.
Well, you boys are real ambitious, aren't you? But, I think we better check out today's answers to make sure that you're ready to go ahead. Turk, which is the best bargain? 6 for 20 cents or 8 for a quarter?
Well, don't make no difference to me.
You liable to end up broke. You boys ever play poker? Ever stop to figure out why royal flush is worth more than a full house?
Just is.
Reason is the odds are longer on getting a royal flush than it is on getting a full house. And when you're sitting in a poker game, ready to raise the stakes, you better know what the odds are on getting the best hand or getting beat. And believe me, it's a lot cheaper learning arithmetic than it is losing pots. So if you don't mind, we'll just stick with today's lesson.
The answer is 39 sheep, Mr. Lancer. Anybody ought to be able to figure that out.
Annabelle, what if I was to ask you how much dirt there was in a hole 3 feet wide, 4 feet deep, and 2 feet long? What would your answer be?
That's easy. 3 times 4 is 12. Times 2 is 24.
Todd, what would your answer be?
I'd say none. Leastwise, I never seen any dirt in no hole.
You better look out or else he'll get that gold star you want so bad.
It was a trick.
Annabelle, you're right. It was a trick. Learning to figure fast is important, but learning to listen close and think before you act is even more important. Quiet, please. Kids, Daniel's gonna do some arithmetic, so you watch him. Two times 8 equal. 2 times 8 is 16.
That's what I got.
No, you got 61 instead of 16.
Well, when you say it, the 6 comes first, 16.
Yeah, but what it means is 10 and 6 more. So the 1 comes first.
Johnny teaching school.
He'll get through to them, too. I think what they need is someone that they can respect. You really didn't know Ben, Mr. Lancer. Back home in Boston, he was a tower of strength. But out here, where a man is measured by different standards.
He's out of his element. Huh? Yeah, well, I'm sorry about what happened. I feel responsible.
It wasn't your fault. You were trying to help him.
Well, if there's anything I can do, anything at all.
Teacher, Lancer, come on out. Lancer, come on out. All right, drop the hardware gun, Hawk. Belt and all. We're closing you down.
He don't look so tough without his gun.
Pa, what are you fixing to do?
Send him packing. He ain't fit to teach school.
He is too, Pa. He knows more than what's just in those books.
We'll decide that. Fact is, you're violating the law.
I don't see no law, man.
Dundee decided to go fishing.
Yeah, well, that figures.
The law says a teacher has to be certified.
You people have some strange notions about the law. You only believe in obeying those you like.
You ain't gonna teach my boy, none of you. I'm taking him out of here right now.
Wait a minute. If you can get by me, you can have him.
This ain't over yet.
Murdoch. Thanks.
That's all right, teacher.
Well, go on. It's all over.
It's true. They can stop you from teaching.
Oh, maybe, maybe not. We'll see what happens if they try.
You're so different from Ben. He'd talk and analyze and endlessly wonder what was right. You just do it.
Something wrong with that?
No, not wrong. Just different.
Cather? I thought maybe it was, Cottle and his friends giving us a little midnight visit. You all right?
I can't sleep, that's all.
Sure.
Johnny, I want you to leave.
When did you decide that?
I appreciate everything that you've done here. We don't need you anymore.
Just like that?
Well, you can't stay here forever. The people in the town don't want a school. Maybe we should just accept that fact.
What about everything you and Ben worked for? Just gone?
Just go. Right now. Go.
Sure. I'll go find Murdoch.
Johnny. You must understand why it can't work.
I don't. I mean, I don't understand anything.
It isn't right. None of it's right. You living here, that close to me. People will talk. They'll say things.
Oh, come on. What do they say?
Everything that people in small towns always say.
What difference does it make? None of it's true?
No. None of it's true.
I think you should stay and keep things going here. I mean, if Ben were alive, he'd want you to do that. It's okay.
Don't go. Don't go. Whatever happens, stay.
I'm going nowhere. Come on, you gotta get up early, remember? You're gonna teach me that, arithmetic lesson.
I remember.
You coming?
In a moment. Johnny. All my life, all our lives, Ben's and mine, we always knew that we needed a very special kind of fulfillment. We couldn't live without it. Now it all suddenly seems so meaningless and empty. It isn't easy trying to learn to live with emptiness. Can you understand that?
Coming with me or not?
Reckon not.
Well, you're just scared like everybody else. Next thing I know, you'll be working for one of them fancy gold stars.
Look, I don't aim just to grow up worthless.
All right. But you tell him for me that I had enough school. And ain't nobody or nothing gonna make me go back there. You just tell him that.
Hey, Turk. Turk, come here. Turk! 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 Come on, Turk.
You ain't gonna catch me, teacher.
What's the matter with you?
And I sure ain't coming with you.
Turk! Oh, Turk, you may have a bad break. Come on, I'll get you to the doc. I see the Cottle boy's still biting the bit.
What did the doctor say?
Well, he said he was going to be all right.
I dropped the gun, Bill.
Anybody gets hurt, you're going to be in trouble.
Manhandling kids is more your style.
Turk, I never laid a hand on you.
And the way he tells you broke his arm because he wouldn't come to school.
He's lying.
Sir Lancer wouldn't do nothing like that.
How'd you know? You weren't even there.
Turk, come here.
You're going out in style, Gunhawk. We're going to dress you up fancy in a coat of tar and feathers.
Listen to me. If you want the school closed...
Captain. Did you make any deals with him?
We'll close it anyway. You ain't fit to teach. The way Turk's seen you carrying on, your heads together. And you scarce a widow.
She's not a widow at all.
You just play dead. So we'd be branded killers.
Well, I thought I could shock some sense into you. But I see now I was a fool. And for what it did to you, Catha, I'm sorry. I'll try to make it up to you somehow. Johnny, I owe you an apology, too. I can excuse hiding out that first night because I was half conscious. But when I saw you face them down, I told myself that you could succeed where I had failed because you were a man without responsibilities and therefore without fear. But out there by myself, I did a lot of thinking. It's the man who sows the seed and tills the soil that deserves the harvest. Cottle, you made me a proposition once. You said you'd let your son come to this school if I could take you. Well, I'm gonna try.
You got no chance.
Travis! That's enough!
All right, stay down. You're a whipped man.
Ben,
That's enough, Travis.
Why don't you tell him to stay down?
it's Ben's fight.
What kind of woman are you?
Finish him off.
Yeah, go ahead, Travis. Well, go on, finish him. The only thing he ever did was trying to make things better for your boy. You know why he keeps getting up? Because he's right, and you're wrong, and he knows it, and you know it. That's what's eating your guts out.
All right, you win. You go to school until it's time to go Mustang hunting.
Pa, you heard him. You gotta do like he says. You might as well tell the truth now about Mr. Lancer. You don't, you're not gonna have a single friend in this whole valley.
So soon?
Yeah, I figured I'd catch up with Murdoch for breakfast. How's Ben?
Like he says, it only hurts when he breathes. It's times like this words come hard. There are many kinds of love that you find in a lifetime. Each one very different. Each one very special. I just want you to know that no matter where you ever ride,
Oh, we got something for you.
What do you see in it? Shut up, you'll spoil it.
It's not really as fancy as the real gold ones.
But we made it ourselves.
It's just about the same.
Except it says outstanding teacher instead of scholar.
Oh, and it's got your name on it, too.
Yeah.
It's to remember us by.
Well, you'd be pretty hard to forget. All of you. Thank you, Annabelle. Thank you, Daniel. Well, we'll be going. How's your arm, Turk?
All right. Doing all right, I guess.
You kids take care, huh? You too, huh, Catherine?